Good morning, still Monday. Parents, we were listening to your comments and your concerns and you were feeling a bit overwhelmed. So what second grade has done was Monday, we're gonna alternate between science and social studies. So Monday, all you have to do is science. Tuesday is social studies, Wednesday science, Thursday social studies, and of course we're off Friday. So I'm going to be doing Tuesday and Thursday's lesson for social studies. It's going to be located on page 200. We're learning about technology then and now. So if you take a look at this picture on the top of page 200, take a look at this tire. What do you think this tire is made out of? It's very big compared to the ones we use now. If you brainstorm that these tires are made out of wood, you're absolutely correct. So looking at this wagon, my friends, do you think that this wagon had a motor inside of it? Or do you see something else in this picture that they used to act like a motor? This horse was actually their motor. The horse was what made their wagon move. Of course, that's not a very fast way to move in the past, but it was a lot quicker than just walking. Right, I'm going to go ahead and start reading. Changes in technology over time make it easier for people to live and work. Before we get started, I'm making a connection to the Cro-Magnons in book number 7. Remember, the Cro-Magnons actually had to go out and hunt their food. It's a good connection to make. All right, home life then and now. People have always needed food, water, and clothing. Those are all basic needs. We just learned about those last week. In ancient times, people gathered plants and berries to eat. Ancient means a very long time ago. Later, American Indians and colonists began to use horses and simple plows to plant seeds for food. So before they invented a simple plow is basically a tractor with no engine. Before they created a simple plow, the people in the past had to actually go in, put one seed, cover it up, take a few steps, put another seed, cover it up, take a few steps, put a seed, cover it up. But what this simple plow was, is they connected it to a horse, and the plow moved along and it kind of dug the soil up, dropped the seed in, and the metal on the plow actually covered it back up. So as the horse keeps moving, it keeps dropping seeds and covering up those seeds. It made it a lot quicker. So that's a good invention. Today, we do have something that is even faster than a simple plow. But in the past, that was an invention that they created. All right, let's keep reading. Where were we? People used wooden buckets to carry water from wells. Wells are giant holes in the ground that holds water for us to use. They sewed their clothes by hand. Remember, in the past, you can't just go to Walmart and say, I like that shirt, I think I'll get it. They actually had to get their cotton and sew their clothes, or just like Jack and Annie, they had clothes made from reindeer because it was so cold. All right, let's keep reading. I'm right here on paragraph 3 where it says today farmers use tractors to plow fields quickly. Remember, I said there was something quicker. Tractors have engines and can do this very, very fast. Pipes bring fresh water into our homes. Those pipes mean that we don't have to use a well and carry one single bucket at a time. Sewing machines help us to make clothes faster. Modern technology makes life easier. So imagine if we didn't have all these inventions yet. We would have to do a lot of chores. At the bottom, it says, underline 2 tools from long ago. So up here, it mentioned different things that they used in the past. Please underline 2 of those things. All right, that's Tuesday lesson. On Thursday, we're going to be looking at page 201. So parents, if it's Tuesday, stop the video and come back on Thursday so you don't overwhelm yourselves. Thursday, at the top of page 201, there's a question for us. Write about how you traveled to school today. Well, since we are not actually traveling to school right now, we have to think before spring break. There are different kinds of ways that you can get to school. So you can walk. A lot of us walk to school. You can ride a bus. You can drive. Or you can carpool. Carpooling is where you and either family or friends actually meet up together and all ride in one car. This actually helps the environment because we're not using as much gas by everybody taking a separate car. We're all getting into one car and sharing a ride. So up here, I want you to write a complete sentence. I used to get to school by blank, blank, blank. Right, I'm going to start reading. Transportation then and now. Before we start reading, I'm making a connection back to this page. This was kind of like their car in the past. How long do you think it would take Miss Clower to travel all the way to school? In my car, it takes me 25 minutes. Could you imagine if a horse was taking me to school? That would take probably like 3 hours, I'm guessing. All right. Long ago, horses were the fastest way to travel. There were no cars, trains, or planes. People wanted to travel more quickly. Some people came up with new ideas called inventions. An invention is something that is made for the first time. I wonder what some of the inventions we're going to be talking about. If we're talking about transportation, ways that you can get around, what do you think people are going to invent? Before we continue reading, I'm looking at that picture. That picture gives me a hint. All right, where was I? An invention is something that is made for the first time. Carl Benz invented the car. Then Henry Ford invented a way to make a lot of cars quickly. I know some of you have family that works at the Toyota factory over by your side of town, and all of them are creating cars. Do you know how many cars they could probably build in that factory quickly? George Stephenson invented the train. Trains are a lot faster than cars. And Brothers Orville and Wilbur Wright invented the airplane. There they are. And let's take a look at that picture caption now that we read about it. A Wright brother flying over the beach at Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. Wow, there he is. Wow, that plane does not look very safe. There's no windows. You see that guy just in there flying? That's very unsafe. That's a lot of information to think about. My friends, this is just a thought in your brain. Who was the person that we read about in the past who was the first female flight to travel over the oceans? Unfortunately, she did not make it. What was her name? Make that connection since we're talking about airplanes. traveling. You had time to think about your guess? If you guessed Amelia Earhart, you were right. Give yourself a pat on the back. All right, number 2, 4, page 201. Write one way transportation inventions can be helpful. We talked a lot about how transportation can be helpful. So another complete sentence. A transportation invention can help us by blank, blank, blank. All right, my friends, that is Tuesday and Thursday. I'm not trying to overwhelm you, just 2 pages of social studies this week. Please take pictures of these so that I can see that your work is submitted. I'm trying to work with Pearson again. Last week it was not working for social studies. I will try it again, but if not, please just take those pictures. I would hate for you to not get credit for the work that you're working hard on. I'll see you later, friends.